Welcome to She Can and She Will. My name is Mary Ann Brown, also known as the Country Mompreneur. I'm joined by my co-host, Disa McAllister. We are moms, work-from-home experts, and queens at helping women take control of their lives. On this show, you will learn from us as well as other women who kick butt in their lives and want to help you do the same. So sit back and get ready for some fun. Welcome back to She Can and She Will. I'm going to create us a jingle now. That's my next job is to create us a jingle.
I support that. We should play that everywhere.
People's ears will start bleeding. We'll get in all sorts of trouble. So we were going to talk about upcoming holidays. We were trying to think of something fun to talk about. It's getting to be, once it's summer, there's like a stretch of like, besides 4th of July, all the rest of July, all of August, well, June even, there's like no holidays.
Yeah.
I feel like it seems like a lot of birthdays, but.
Yeah, there are a lot of summer birthdays, it does seem like. Yeah. But we've got Cinco de Mayo coming
I know, and you said that you celebrate. I have never celebrated Cinco de Mayo in my entire life.
Which I find fascinating and impossible, but I am in the Midwest.
Like,
I'm in the Southwest.
What is a Cinco de Mayo thing that you do? Like, I don't even think about it. Like, I know like most things that you celebrate, it just involves a bar. Like here's like well, that's important.
A bar and
that
tacos.
Ooh,
yeah. Some
that
sombreros.
does sound like a holiday I would support. And will now start to support because I do like tacos and drinks.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. And I think you can have it in excess, just like Halloween, you can have candy in excess. Yeah.
Ooh,
just
yay.
Yeah. But that's really wild. Your whole town, town. That's so wild.
We're super country up here.
That's amazing.
Like we don't do any in my area, any holidays that are specifically from any sort of heritage. Like I'm Italian, but we're like super country Italian. We don't do any sort of like of the Italian holidays, like the Feast of the Fishes that they do at Christmas, you hear. What? Like we don't do any of that kind of stuff. Like we'll have lasagna for Christmas, of course, because that's just like Christmas food.
I've never even heard of somebody doing that. That's amazing.
But
sounds
like
better
we don't
than turkey.
do like up here. You hear a lot of Irish festivals, but that also involves drinking, and anything like you said that involves drinking, people will support. So you hear a lot of Irish festivals up here, but that's about it when it comes to like heritage-based sort of fun. It's sort of odd, actually.
Well, I think we uncovered the secret to making a holiday popular is just to like put some booze to it.
Yes. We should create our own holiday and just have it be Mary Ann and Disa drink Cosmopolitans all day. And that'll just be.
We throw some lasagna in there though, because that sounded really nice.
That'll absorb, because the possible absorbs, so you don't get so drunk so fast.
Oh, yeah. Because we're responsible. Yeah,
yes.
That makes sense.
It's sort of like some people do drink water. We'll do drink lasagna. So then that way you're drinking, then absorbing, drinking, then absorbing.
You've got some tricks, man. I've not even heard that. Drink water.
You've never heard that? You're like,
no, just drink water at the end. Like you drink, get a glass before you go to bed.
Have like a drink of beer and then have some water. It's supposed to be able to make it so you don't have a headache at the end.
Oh, that's very cool. Okay. I'm going to have to try that.
We'll remember that. So now with that in mind, we're going to discuss how to stop self-sabotaging yourself. Like, don't not drink water when you're drinking. Keep hydrated. That's number one. Always hydrate.
Only going to hurt yourself. Yeah.
Yes. Always. In life, keep hydrated. So first thing we've got is know yourself. So to fight the cycle of self-sabotage, it's important to learn your triggers and identify your self-sabotaging behaviors. Do you know what some of yours are? I know mine is I get into my head. I will tell myself that something is, like if I'm writing, I will tell myself this is crap. and will delete it before I even send it to someone else to have them be like, no, this was actually good.
Yeah.
I'm a talk bad to myself person.
Yeah, that can be really harsh because you also have to be your talk yourself up person, and if that's the case, right? Because nobody else knows. Paul tells me that a lot. Like I get in my head and get like I get anxious about stuff. Like, oh my God, it's gonna, but I'm worrying about something that hasn't happened, right? So it's not so much the stuff that has. But my big one is overwhelm because sometimes I just get busy and things pile up. And at that point, I'm like, well, I might as well just go to bed.
Yep.
Like that's
much to do. I'm not doing any of it.
Yes, exactly. Which is horrible. And I'm so glad I know that about myself, because 5 years ago, I did not know that about myself. And so, yeah, know your triggers. It's a really good thing to do. Another one is to practice mindfulness. And a way that a lot of people do this is through a little bit of meditation to just kind of slow yourself down, slow your roll, and just be mindful of the things around you and the thoughts that are coming to your head, which is an important part of life.
Yeah.
Maybe the most important part of life. Yeah.
Also practice self-compassion. One thing that I remember my grandmother, this actually sticks with me. And it's funny because my grandmother told me this, and you always hear people say, my grandma said this, but this was actually something that she said. And I've heard it other places. It's not like she created it, but the whole, this too shall pass. That's really something that I actually really have to think about sometimes. If something just seems like bills are starting to pile up or something's going on that it's just like too much, then I've just got to tell myself it's going to pass. It's going to pass. Everything's going to be fine. Just got to get through this little bump, because otherwise you could get yourself all kinds of worked up and lose your brain.
Oh, I love that. I have a friend, Deanna, and she practices compassionate listening. And so she told me a little bit about like how to do this. So you're just like completely open without judgment, and the other person's talking. Maybe they're going through some stuff, right? And so it's just like, all this crap is coming out, right? Their family's horrible, whatever. And you just kind of like, it's basically like, how do you feel about that? It sounds like you're frustrated. That would be frustrating, like that kind of stuff where there's no judgment at all. You're just kind of identifying the feelings that they're expressing without naming the feelings. I mean, they're not, but you are. And what has happened since I tried doing that is that my own self-talk got a lot more compassionate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I had a clothing store, a little consignment shop for a while, and people would come in. It was a small town, so people would come in and they would stay and they would talk and talk and talk and talk. And I would do that because I was in that store all by myself half the time, so I'm like, somebody to talk to. So, but people would come in and I would just be their sounding board, and some people would come in just to talk, just because I was practicing that exactly, doing just that and letting people just, I sort of enjoy, it's not so much the gossipy part of me of hearing other people's drama, maybe, but it's more of me just being, I enjoy hearing other people's problems and trying to help them be a voice of reason. Because sometimes, people are in a hole that you're like, I think I could help you find a way out of this. So tell me more. And then you could be like, well, how about this? And I never even considered that. So that's sort of enjoying to do.
It's just,
I would have thought once upon a time that I might have wanted to have, I could have become a therapist, but I don't think I would like to do it for a job. I like to just be there for people, but not do it for pay.
Short bursts of focus.
Yeah. If you make something a job that you sort of don't mind doing, then it's not enjoyable anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just realized that since we're doing this podcast, people are getting to know us. And I am getting to know you with everybody else.
Like we get to know each other more and more every time.
I did not know that. You've done a lot of stuff, Mary Ann.
I know I have. I've lived 1,000 lives, I think.
Oh, well, this one might not even need mentioning, but practicing acceptance, like we are where we are and it is what it is, and no judgment on that either, right? So situation.
Yeah, it's important to be okay with who you are and where you are, and not try to compare yourself and be like, I'm not as good as so-and-so down the road. You're as good as you know?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I know. I have a friend from like back in the day that she's so successful. I'm like, oh, I could have done what she did. And every so often I'll think that. And then I'm like, I'm happy where I am. I have, everybody's life is different. When it goes behind the curtain, everything may look beautiful. Maybe things may not be as good behind the screen. So, trying to just accept what you have, because maybe what they have looks great. It may not be as great as it looks,
I agree.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and with that, reframe your mind. That sort of goes along with that, with accepting who you are. Well, reframe and don't put in your head that I'm not good enough because of this, that, and that. Say, you know what? I am good enough. I've got this experience. I've got this knowledge, and don't let people tell you that you're not that you're not good enough. You are good enough, and put that into your mind. Don't let jumble fall in there,
Yeah. Do you ever do, oh my God, what's that thing called where you write it down and you say it? Words of affirmation. Do you ever do that?
Yes. Yes.
That's a pretty good reframing tool. All right. This is actually my favorite one. Get more comfortable with failure. Cause I don't know if I just am numb to failure or something, but except for in moments of real self-doubt where I'm like, man, I can't. Oh, I'm a horrible person. Anyway,
I failed so much.
Oh my God.
That I have to be comfortable with it at this point.
On such a huge scale. Yeah. Big time failure. But sometimes you get a big win out of that, right? You might get one big win out of 20 massive failures. But it's still one, you can anchor yourself with that win. It's like, oh, I can freaking do this, right? I can accomplish something. But if that's like a business, 1 out of 20, you got the one, right?
Yeah.
That's what you need. You just need the one. Yeah.
I feel like all the failures I've had have put me where I am today. All the bad things, and you'll think a failure could be a divorce. And you could think at the time that this is the end of the world. This is awful. But you know what? Everything that's happened has led you to this point, which is way better than it was 5 years ago, Yeah. So what may seem like a failure could end up being a win.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, everything got us here. And here is a pretty good spot, It's not the end all be all, but it's a pretty good spot.
And for some people, the here right now could not be that great. But you know what? The here in a year from now, 2 years from now could be amazing. So you just gotta push ahead and be good.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there has suggestions on how to sabotage yourself, we would love help. Did I say how to sabotage? Please sabotage yourself and tell us how you did it. Now, how do you stop self-sabotaging yourself? Too many S's in this phrase. Share in the comments, and we would love to hear how you do what you do.
Next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. For more information, join us at thepmagency.com.